Hey there, welcome back to Tea Garden. So I set back up to review a little bit, not review, but go over this book a little bit that I worked on that I was excited about, and I'm really excited because I think it's a great resource for anyone that's interested in the Egyptian gods. So let me pull it out. It just came out in April, like April 4th. So that's April 4th, 2024. Just in case this is a little bit, out there in the schedule. So let me pull it out. This is the complete Encyclopedia of Egyptian deities. Also includes a few Nubian deities and a few, I hate this word, I can't say it very well. Levantine deities that connected into the Egyptian pantheon over time. It also includes some bigger spirits, Netri, which are not exactly gods, but akin to gods. So it includes those two. And I'm really excited about it. I did the character illustrations for each chapter, or each section, or each entry. That's how you say it. And I'm pretty excited about it. And when I first got it, I skimmed it real good. I focused on the deities I want to focus on, and then I go back for it for reference on different things. I've been using it as a reference for art. So iconography for the god, but also things that they were connected to, their theophanies, things like that. So let me show you a little bit of the book. Because it's so new, people haven't seen much of it. I have to squishy Kanuma a little bit. Okay, Kanuma, I have to squishy you. Okay, Kanuma's better. All right, I think everyone can see. Yeah. So I really love this book. It's hefty, guys. It's over 800 pages. That's how hefty it is. Sorry, I keep checking my screen to make sure you can all see. So the book just tells you how it's laid out, what each of the things are you're going to encounter, like the deity name, its name, alternate names, hieroglyphs, aspects, theophanies, festivals, synchronisms, syncretisms, theophanies again, cult centers, holidays and festivals, and so on and so forth. So it goes over that. Really nice. I skipped a few pages. It goes over some of the papyri that were resources. Goes over some of the texts that were resources for the book. Stories and things like that. What was basically used for resource material, which I think is really cool. Then we get into the actual entries. What's the first thing about? There's also like pictures of the general scepters and crowns you'll see and encounter. Okay, now we come into the entries. Is there a page for that? There's a section page for that. There we go. The entries. So the main entries are the gods. That's the first one. And it's pretty cool. A little illustration up here. And then you have deity name, most common. Then you have alternate names. Then you have the relatives. This section is really cool. Because I wrote recently about a blog post I wrote was about creating your own personal Enneads and triads and all this other stuff. And this book is going to be a resource for something like that. Because it's going to tell you who they're connected to, who their families are, who their partners are, their consorts, who their mothers and fathers are. This is going to help you connect a lot of dots. It did for me. As soon as I got this book and I was skimming through it, I got to one of my entries that I had interest in. And actually, during the Kickstarter, I was the person that quote unquote sponsored that entry, and it suddenly connected a whole bunch of things. Which is irony, but not irony, serendipity. But this section was really helpful for me. Also, this section of aspects, who they can be an aspect of, and who are they connected to as far as other gods, that's really cool. And of course, the word I can't say, syncretisms. There we go. I did it. I said it. That was also really helpful for me personally, because for years I connect the dots on a lot of things. In the beginning, I just did stuff. And it's the same way with my art. I just create to create. I create because I feel inspired. And then I have to go and find the information that led to that later. So this book helped me with that. So you have syncretisms, then you have theophanies, then cult centers, holidays and festivals that were purportedly theirs and like they connected to or honor at, and depictions of artists, iconographers. This is what you like. This is a good helper for those people that want to create art for the Netru. Depictions. They will tell you, this section will tell you how they were depicted most commonly, but also alternatives, like other crowns they wore, other heads they had. I, for one, I'm not going to do a spoiler, but I found out there was a whole nother theophany head one of my gods could take. Like, instead of being a lion, they could also take a crocodile head. I'm like, oh, that changes so much. That gives me another dot that I can, or another puzzle piece to add to my picture. It helps a lot. Then you have about them. This is the bio. This is the big information. And you have a little section down here. Well, no, it's at the end of all the chapters. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, depending on how much they are worshipped at the time. But modern worship, this is what people have been doing lately. This is up to date where we are right now. From when Egypt stopped to when we are now. Or Egyptian religion, my bad. So, talks about other religions that have taken up their iconography or their worship. Talks about movements they've had or anything like that. So I really like it. And in general, it makes a nice cohesive entry. Gives you all the information you really need to know at the time. And of course, at the very end of the chapters, after modern worship, in the gray area, it gives you further reading. So these in the grayish area, after the modern worship, is further reading. So you can go and look into every specific god you want to look into. And I think that's really cool. Now, this, as you can see, is in color. As opposed to, going back to the beginning. So the black and white colorations versus the full-on color. As you can see, it's a different layout when you first start. But there are, I forget how many. But there are a few deities that have full-on different banners at the top. Like, it takes over the full page versus the half page. And then it has a full color illustration. And then it gets into all the same information. The reason these are full color illustrations, I believe it's because I did them. So I'm trying to figure this out to word it. These are very well-known deities. The ones that are full colors, they're very well-known. They are very popular. And I believe that's it. They're extremely popular right now, as well as in ancient times. So they get some sort of push forward of, hey, you might know this person. So that's one of the reasons I believe, now don't quote me, I believe that's why it's in color. But again, people figured this out. So yeah, I really enjoyed working on this. Nice. So as you can see, some entries, depending on how popular or how much information we have on the deity, and what's left behind of the deity, whatever it is, there's more information. Then there's photos. There's photos of temples and the deities and their depictions. Oh god, this one goes on forever. And then we can move on to the modern worship. There's more photos. Modern worship. And a lot of references for some of them. Not so many for others, depending on if there was enough information left that people could study them. Some deities' temples are buried. Some deities' temples are flooded. Some got destroyed for their limestone. So it just depends. And I'm going to jump to one of my favorite entries. Let me find it. So it keeps going. This one was fun to work on. I really enjoy Bess and Bessette. I really enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. These were a lot of fun to work on. I honestly really love Bessette, guys. I don't know why, I just do. I think she's really cool. I love her depiction. Okay, I'm done. I'll look into that one later. But yeah, there's also art from the iconographer Ptolemasu. There we go, Ptolemasu. So there, it's in here somewhere. You will come upon it. I believe one is in Khanum's, another of Socorro, I believe, or Bost. I think there's one even in Peru, but I have to find it. Flipping through things. Must be on the other side. There we go. There he is. I knew there was a Heru. Yeah. So that was by Pitamasu. I really have trouble with names, guys. My tongue stutters a little bit. Not stutters, but it flippies. It's clumsy. I was looking for... there's Moftet's entry. Very cool. Moftet. And there's Nefertim's. The one I want is back here. Neptu! So this is pretty cool. Again, you don't hear much about Neptu. Or Nebetu. Or Neptu. Ta Neptu. So again, this is a resource that will be great when you're trying to look things up, especially about obscure deities. Like, it's amazing. I really love it. And it will help me so much in the years to come. It will help me so much in the years to come. If I have a thought of, oh, this is happening. I'm drawing it this way. I'm doing it this way. I'm painting it this way. Whatever creative process, inspiration I'm drawing from, I wonder if there's a basis to it. If I'm getting something from it that is historically a precedent. So I'll go in here and I'll look around and be like, that makes sense. Or, that doesn't make sense. Then I'll find something else later down the line. I'll be like, oh my God, that makes more sense. So yeah, I highly recommend this book as just a lifelong reference guide resource that you're going to have just to answer some questions. But, it can be used for all kinds of things. Anyways, so yeah, that is what I am doing today, is just showing you some of this book, because it is, it's pretty amazing. I'm pretty proud to have helped with it. Here is the painting of Nehebka by Setken. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty excited to have it. I want to go down to Renatet because I like her too. Oh, there's Sobek. He's in color. He's very popular. He has so many alternate names. Shamenefer. Okay, don't fault me for being able to say Shamenefer. I've been doing that a long time. Oh goodness. Relatives. He has so many relatives, guys. That's crazy. Okay, sorry. I'm getting a little bit caught in the writings. I'm having a good time today. Oh, he was Yamu in Kam El Hassin. Or maybe he wasn't Yamu, he was just connected to that. Kam El Hassin. Kam El Hassin was a huge cattle spot. That is where an attested temple of Het Hathor and Sekhmet were. So that's an interesting thing to figure out. I actually didn't look at his entry far too much when I first skimmed, but makes sense. I'm just getting lost in here, guys. I'm sorry. Anyways, yes. You might find some interesting things in here that you never knew, that you were always curious about. I love it. I love it. Like, one of the things that not many people know that is just right here at your fingertips. Sobek Khanum. Sobek-Khanum. That's a thing. Sobek Geb. Sobek Happy. Amun Sobek. Amun born of Sobek. Amun born of Sobek. Let's think about that for a while. That's something to meditate on. It's just so much, guys. Guys, I highly recommend this book. It's amazing. I actually showed on another video just the cover, but yeah, it's great. I wouldn't say okay. I would say I am a little bit in awe of the book because it helps so much. I think this book will help a lot of polytheists look into the Netru for a long time to come, and give them a second life through that. Like, this could help a lot of people. Oh yeah, I forgot the next section. We're through the Netru. Now we're on the Libyan and Levantine guest deities, the deities that were brought in from other countries that were not Nubia. So Nubian deities come later. So these are like Anat, and one of my favorite illustrations. Ready? Nope, not that one. I missed. Astarte. She was one of my favorite illustrations because she has a horse. She looks really different. I like it. And I like all the, now I have more information about Astarte, which makes me happy. Here's a fun one. Sekhmet, in relation to Astarte, appears with Astarte at Memphis. Sekhmet can also be Astarte's mother, especially where Ptah is her father. So a daughter of Sekhmet. That's interesting. Her cult centers. Yeah, here we go. Her cult centers, Mesopotamia, obviously. Soft Hina. That's a good one. Hebus comes up a lot. Memphis, of course. Tanis. Dendera. Edfu. I mean, if they're in Dendera and Edfu, they're everywhere, really. They get around a lot. Edfu and Dendera. Gods seem to move a lot. Thebes. So she was known in a lot of different places. A lot of different cult centers had Astarte. She doesn't have any holidays because she is a Levantine deity. She's associated with chariots, especially horse-drawn chariots, goats and antelopes, horses. This is the horse goddess, guys. Connected to lionesses and sphinxes. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, she can be depicted as lioness-headed. Daughter of Sekhmet, Oh, here we go. As Astarte, queen of heaven, queen of horses. As Astarte, queen of horses, mistress of the chariot, who presides at Edfu. She has a lioness head with a solar disc, so she looks just like Sekhmet. And she stands in a chariot drawn by 4 horses, trampling on an enemy. See? No one knew that. This is the thing. Maybe someone knew that, but I didn't know that. And that made a lot of sense. Now we're on the Nubian deities. Nubian guest deities. Apetamak. Hey, don't judge me for being that quick to say that. Apetamak. I liked his name. I think it rhymes a little bit. Has a nice tone. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's fun to say. Now, this was an interesting one. He's associated with elephants. Makes sense, but no one thinks about it. There was one person I knew who came to a community and said, hey, do we know a god of elephants? Now I have this book. I could say, hey, let's look that up. It was Petamoch. I can't say that name. Arensnufis. I think he's kind of like on her. Dedwin. Kanoom. Sometimes syncretized. Mandalus. Menheat. I like this chapter too. So here's a word you'll see in this book. Sizigi. Basically means that they're the pairing, but not only a consort, but like a parallel. Sun and moon. Light and dark. Opposites, but connecting. So they make a whole. So it's like two halves of a whole. So here, Kanoom and Minheat make that Sisigi, 2 halves of the whole. When they're together, everything is whole. When they are together, these two, Minheat and Kanoom, are together, they are whole. They actually are Khnum dash Menhit and Esna as a whole. Menhit is Khnum's partner at Esna when she is a form of Sekhmet or Neat. New energy. New types of information, guys. So, yeah. It's pretty cool. All the things. It's pretty cool. Alright. Oh, now we're on the Netry. Netry beings. This one was fun too. I liked working on this. This one is not as big. It's popular things we know, popular things we don't. Some things just don't have depictions because they didn't have depictions. Sons of Horus are in here. Heru. Sons of Heru, Horus. The Sphinx is in here. Henut, the pelican, is in here. She's pretty cool. Medjed, very popular. Okay, we'll skip along. Now, there's a section I don't think many people have addressed. Sacred bulls and cows. This was one interesting thing. I didn't expect this to be in this book, but it was a nice surprise that it was. It talks about the cows and bulls, the cow and bulls, that were honored, the big ones. These are the big names. And nature would look like. It's pretty cool. I liked working on them. I like the bulls. They're pretty cool. Let me show you the cow. It's Hesat, the cow. Okay. Let's get past this. Then we have the last couple things. And a special thanks to the Patreon, not the Patreons. Special thanks to the Kickstarters. And who they were for. Sorry, that's people's names. I probably shouldn't show that. But it's in the book, so it might be a thing. I might look at that later. Okay. It has maps. It has information. Has everything you need. Look, there's still so many pages left. Appendices. So many things in the bibliography. So I do recommend this book. You can find it on Llewellyn.com. Right now, as of now, it's selling pretty decently. Llewellyn's really happy with it, as far as I understand. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I hope everyone enjoys it. I really do. And I think it will help add some much needed knowledge out there that academics have had or had access to for a long time, but that regular worshipers and regular people haven't been able to scratch out. So I think this book will help people get the information they've always wanted. And I'm pretty excited about that. That's a big thing. So definitely recommend just to have on hand and just deepen your understanding about the deities that you work with. So with that, I'll say, well, we're done. I'm going to go have lunch. I'm hungry. I came right out of ritual to do this, so I'm going to try to film more right after ritual because I have days off. So, all right, guys, like and subscribe. We'll do more fun stuff. I hope you have a great day and enjoy. Bye.